Today I begin my journey. My name is May, and I live in Chiang Mai, Thailand. I've always been fascinated by the English language, the way words dance on the tongue, the endless possibilities they open. At school, my grades were average, but my heart yearned for more than rote grammar drills and vocabulary lists. Now at 22, I've decided to learn English seriously. I bought a fresh notebook, colorful pens, and resolved to write every day. I'm both excited and terrified. What if I fail? Yet the thought of unlocking new worlds, books, movies, friendships, fills me with hope. So here I am, pen in hand, ready to make mistakes and learn from them. My first week has been challenging. I started with simple greetings. Hello. Good morning. How are you? My tongue trips over the sound, and I often say thank you instead of thank you. My English teacher, Mr. James, gently corrects me. It's okay, May. Try again. We practiced every morning at class, then I replay the sounds on my phone at night. I also downloaded a language app that reminds me to learn 5 new words each day. Today's words: journey, struggle, confidence, discover, and mistake. I'll use them tomorrow in a sentence. I had my first conversation with a native speaker. At the night market, I met Sarah, a traveler from Australia. She asked me, "Do you like spicy food?" My heart raced. I stuttered. I like spicy food very much. She laughed kindly and replied, "That's great." We chatted for 10 minutes about Thai cuisine, and though I understood only half of what she said, I managed to respond. Afterwards, I felt an exhilarating thrill, like I'd crossed a bridge into a new world. Still, I'm frustrated at how slowly I form sentences. But Sarah told me, making mistakes is how we learn. I wrote that sentence down as my motto. Grammar is still my nemesis. Today in class, we tackled the present perfect tense. I have eaten, she has gone, they have seen. It sounded so logical in theory, but producing it in conversation feels clunky. Mr. James gave us worksheets, and I made so many errors that I wanted to hide under my desk. Yet, a tiny spark of progress glimmered when I correctly wrote, I have visited Chiang Mai twice. Took me 3 tries, but I got there. Later, I watched a short film with English subtitles, pausing every minute to digest a new phrase. It's like assembling a puzzle, frustrating but strangely addictive. A month has passed, and I celebrated my progress by writing my first full paragraph without looking at a dictionary. I described my morning routine. Every day I wake up at 6 o'clock. I brush my teeth, drink tea, and review flashcards. Simple, but it felt monumental. I showed it to Mr. James, and he underlined 3 minor errors. I corrected them, and he smiled proudly. That smile felt like sunlight. Outside class, I joined an online language exchange. Fridays at 8 p.m., Thai learners pair with English learners. My first partner was Luca from Italy. We laughed as we muddled through introductions, swapping tips on pronunciation. Making friends worldwide? Priceless. Today I faced my biggest fear: giving a short presentation in English. My classmates spoke fluently, telling stories of their travels and hobbies. When it was my turn, my heart pounded. I took a deep breath and began. Good afternoon. My name is May. I want to talk about my favorite festival, Loy Krathong. My voice shook, but I continued, describing the floating lanterns and vibrant costumes. At the end, several students applauded, and Mr. James nodded approvingly. I beamed. Afterwards, I realized perfection isn't the goal, communication is. Even with shaky words, I had connected. Autumn arrived, and so did new challenges. I'm now reading a short story in English, The Gift of the Magi by O. Henry. Beautiful but archaic in places. I underline every unknown word. Parsimony, prudence, adoration. Some sentences make me reread twice to grasp the meaning. Yet every paragraph feels rewarding. Today I read, life is made up of sobs, sniffles, and smiles, with sniffles predominating. That sentence resonated deeply. Even with sniffles, the rhythm and rhyme touched me. I'm learning not just language but literature. How words can dance poetically. I aspire to write like that one day. I went to a cafe that holds a weekly English book club. 20 people sat in a circle sipping lattes. The book was To Kill a Mockingbird. Complex themes: justice, empathy, prejudice. I barely understood half the discussion, but I listened intently. When someone asked me for my opinion, I swallowed hard and said, I think Atticus Finch is wise and brave. My pronunciation was imperfect, but my meaning was clear. A woman smiled and said, well said. Afterward, she complimented my courage. I felt like an explorer planting a flag on new land. English isn't just a skill. It's a gateway to diverse minds and cultures. Winter is approaching, though here it's mild. The nights grow longer, perfect for writing. Today, I drafted a short story in English for the first time. It was about a young student learning to play the violin. The words were simple, the plot basic, but it was mine. I emailed it to Mr. James, and his feedback was encouraging. Your imagery is vivid. Watch verb tenses. He suggested revisions. At first I felt daunted, but then I realized this process, write, revise, polish, is how all writers grow. English is no longer a foreign puzzle. It's a creative tool in my hands. Today marks 4 months since I began. I reflected on my progress, from thank you to confidently ordering in English, from stumbling through have eaten to analyzing literature. I have accumulated a notebook brimming with new words and phrases. I've made friends in Canada, Spain, and South Africa. We chat online, sharing our cultures and languages. Next month, I'll take the IELTS exam. I feel equal parts nervous and excited. My goal? A score that will earn me admission to a master's program abroad. It's ambitious, but after these months of journey and struggle, I feel ready. Every mistake has taught me something invaluable. Resilience. The IELTS test looms. Practice tests tell me I'm around band 6.5 good, but I need 7.5. So I've intensified my routine. Mornings, vocabulary and grammar drills. Afternoons, listening to podcasts and shadowing speakers. Evenings, writing essays and having mock interviews. Sometimes I feel overwhelmed, but I remind myself of why I began. To explore, connect, and grow. Last night, I listened to a lecture about climate change and summarized it in English. It took me an hour, but the clarity I felt afterward was worth every minute. I'm not merely learning a language. I'm expanding my mind. I received my IELTS results today. Overall band 7.5. I couldn't believe my eyes. Tears blurred the letters. All those nights of studying, the fears overcome, the conversations with strangers, it has led to this. I celebrated by calling my parents, who cheered louder than fireworks. They've always supported me, even when I doubted myself. Now, with this result, I've applied to universities in the UK and the US. The future glows with possibilities. Lectures in Oxford, snow in Vermont, new friendships in bustling cities. Through the ups and downs, English has become part of who I am. And so this diary closes, not because the journey ends, but because a new chapter begins.